Please. Oh boy. Okay, it is having trouble loading there. Oh, okay, no wonder it's having trouble loading. Alright. Man, fighting the dragons in Inquisition was so cool. Man, some of them were pretty tough. I think I got all of them though, didn't I? Oh, we have a camp. Oh. Alright, thank God. We have a camp.
Bad dreams, huh?
It seems so real.
Well, it is real.
Sort of.
You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them.
I could see them
The
too.
Archdemon, it talks to the Horde.
Is the Archdemon a dragon?
Just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon is that dragon? Why didn't Duncan just tell everyone that? They wouldn't believe it.
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Yeah, it's a little scary. Any other surprises I should know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises.
I like how his
Anyhow,
shield and sword
now,
are just
right?
floating
Let's
behind
fill
him.
up camp and get a move on.
Oh, so is everybody healed up? Yeah, they are. So why is the game just saving screenshots? Like, that's kind of awkward. Levi Darren. Party camp. All your party members are healed. Yeah, that's so good. It was so needed. Everybody was like dead and stuff.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you. I think you should go.
Well,
Why is that an option? Like, what if I accidentally click that?
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
Uh-oh. Why say it's a vision? You dreamed of the blight?
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no?
Maybe.
When I woke,
no?
I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered.
Nice.
Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose.
Is this like the story about the turtles? Like you bent down to tie your shoes and you saw the turtles or whatever?
Darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
That's just wishful thinking. This made you want to help me? Did you hear voices?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight.
Do we actually stop the blight? I mean, maybe we do. And then someone starts opening the rift. And that's why it starts coming back in Inquisition. I don't know what happens in Dragon Age 2. The Chantry says, the Maker has left us. The blight is the Maker's punishment. Will you defy him? I suppose I couldn't sit by either. Eh?
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come.
Do you want to be a Grey Warden too? I guess she might die if she becomes one. We could have some vials of dark spawn blood and you could drink it and stuff. Can I give you a gift?
Yes. Well, here I am. What is meant by someone like me?
You don't seem to be in a cloister, a beautiful, charming woman like yourself. They don't teach you how to fight in the cloister. Do they? Eh.
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister.
Interesting.
All of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique. Because
see.
then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Interesting. Oh my gosh.
My fruit? I can't believe I'm having this conversation. But
Eh.
no, I did not take vows. The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor
Great.
to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant.
Oh, it
but
sounds
other
like
than that,
confirmation
there
or
are
something.
no vows taken.
What did you do before that? So your skills were learned.
I was
Yeah.
a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin.
Nice.
And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Okay. Oh gosh. Liliana approves, codex updated. How do I give gifts? Like I've got this thing. Gifts can be sold to a merchant or given to certain party members to influence their rating. Like the symbol of Andraste seems like a good gift to give to her.
Yes?
Why is that always a thing?
Well, here I am.
Oh man, so we're just gonna be talking to everyone. You're a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Yes, I do.
Oh
I
my
love
gosh,
stories
I didn't
far too
realize
much
that we
to
were
keep
just
them
gonna
to
have like a
myself.
full-on
Everyone
Mass
should be
Effect
able to
dating
benefit
sim
from them, I think.
episode. But here we go. Man, so we had a lot of space dating sim stuff in the other Mass Effect, or in Mass Effect. This isn't the other Mass Effect. So I might have to have dating sim levels where we just talk to everyone. So if anybody watches on YouTube, they know what they're getting into. Because maybe people just want to get to the action, or maybe this is what people want. And by the action, I mean like the fighting and stuff. Tell me about Darkspawn. Do you know any stories? Yeah, tell me some Ferelden legends. There was another story I wanted to hear.
I know
What
one,
does that mean?
told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always
Oh my
chilled me
gosh,
to the
there's
bone.
gonna be so much talking
Maybe
in
you have
this.
heard of Flemeth.
What? Have you heard of Flemeth? Yes, Flemeth, Morgan's mother. She was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was
Eh.
she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men?
Uh,
Flemeth, mother of witches?
I
Flemeth,
think so,
demon
actually.
touched, who dwells in the mists?
She didn't really introduce herself as such. She looked like your average woman.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Oh, so she's kind of a legend. Flemeth was once beautiful.
Flemeth's beauty was known
Oh my
throughout
gosh.
the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes
So
as
pitch black
beautiful
hair.
and perilous as the sea. When she came of age,
So did she give
she
her
came
power
the
to Morgan?
attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth
Yeah,
stayed
because
with
everyone
Conobar
hates
for some
mages.
years,
Because of
and
course they
with his
do.
blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle.
Uh-oh.
Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he
I
by
see.
her beauty. And they
So
fell
the
in
young
love.
bard shows up and she's like, I'm done with the king. Oh, the plot thickens.
Flemeth
Eh.
longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the chasing
I guess we had
tribes.
lore
They
episodes
lived there
too
happily for many a year,
in
till the day
War in
Flemeth
the
received
North.
news that
Man,
Conobar was dying
it's good.
and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart
Eh.
swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But
Oh,
when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by
Uh-oh.
Conobar's men, and Osen was
well, she was
slain
hoping
in
for like
front
an
of
open
Flemeth's
relationship, and
arms. Flemeth was imprisoned
like
in the
sometimes that's
highest
okay,
tower
like
of the
Madame de
castle,
Pompadour or
there
whatever.
to await Conobar's
Like
judgment on
the
her.
king was completely okay
Distraught
with
at the loss
how
of her
open she
love,
was.
Flemeth plotted revenge against
Well,
her husband.
and that wasn't even her
She
queen, that
summoned
was
a
her
fey
lover
demon,
or whatever, or
intending
his
for
lover.
it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. A
Uh-oh.
demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle run red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar.
I mean,
and
maybe
all
she's
his
just
men.
upset,
The
you know?
last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years.
What did she do after
They say
100
she
years?
took to her side many chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Tell me about the Darkspawn.
Of course,
Oh,
Orlesians
dude,
enjoy
we're getting
telling
all sorts of
stories.
lore and
I
stuff
shall
to add to
tell
our
you my
codex.
favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay.
Aveline. Go ahead. That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl
Yeah, so if
child
you're
was
watching,
born
this
to a
is what we'll
farmer.
be doing for
He had
I
hoped
don't know
for a
how
son,
long.
not a daughter.
Hopefully we can get it all
And so he
done
told
before
his
we're
wife
done.
to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing. And
I
raised
think
her
in my
as their
Inquisition
own.
I was a Dalish elf,
Aveline,
actually.
for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned
It's
to
pretty
wield
lame
the
though
sword
that
as
like
well
they
as
put the
any man,
finish to the game
could kill a
of
deer with an
Inquisition
arrow at
like
100
into the
paces,
DLC.
and was as graceful on the back of a
So at
horse
some
as
point
she
I'll
was
probably
on foot.
buy like the Game of the Year edition. Alright. I saw that coming.
Many legends have familiar forms
I don't know
and
what she's
themes.
talking about right now
We
actually.
enjoy them so because we know
But at
them.
some point I'll get
Aveline's
Inquisition
Dalish
Game of the
guardians
Year edition,
so that
play
she could
through,
easily
and then actually
best
see
any
the real
Orlesian
ending of the
chevalier
game.
in battle.
Like, why
And
put the
wanted
real
to
ending
show
of the game
all
behind a
humans the
DLC?
child
Like, what
they
the
had
heck,
left to
man?
die.
It's kind of messed
They
up.
bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people.
They say,
in
oh,
the
don't
Grand
buy the
Tourney.
game. Like, okay,
Now,
I'll
in
wait
those
till
days,
Dragon Age
no
4,
woman was allowed
until
to
all the
take up
DLC's
arms,
out,
let
then the Game of the
alone
Year
compete in
edition
the
comes
Grand
out, or
Tourney.
whatever.
But Aveline
Or like,
kept her helmet on,
Deluxe
and was
edition or
not
whatever.
discovered.
And buy it when it's on sale on Steam. Did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd.
Oh, so
Eventually,
Evelyn
she
was
came
a
face
female
to
knight.
face with the
Okay.
knight
That's what
Kaleva
she's been
in the
talking
Grand
about.
Melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time.
Uh-oh, does
Out
Kaleva
of
kill her?
desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so.
Oh,
Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A
Wow.
woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman,"
oh,
cried he,
jeez.
and slit her throat.
Uh-oh. That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his
Oh,
land.
so it was the
When
start
he
of
was
turning
made
things
king,
around.
He rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death.
Nice.
And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Nice, nice, nice. Tell me about Darkspawn.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created
Yeah,
the
that's what we know
Darkspawn.
too.
In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder
Yeah,
Imperium ruled
someone
much
else
of the
told us
world
this
we know.
lore. Why give us
In
this
their
lore an
pride,
option again?
They thought
But
their
that's
magics
okay.
invincible, and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself.
This is why this game is gonna take us
They
forever to
invaded
beat.
his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their
If you
own
don't like
creator.
this, you
But they
don't
were
like.
impure and
Oh my
full of
gosh.
sin. And
Sorry.
it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever.
You don't like how I
The
play
Maker
these games,
cursed
man.
them and cast them from his sight.
I always like to go through all the
Wherever they
dialogue
went,
options as I
they
can.
spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted.
But
and
this
its
story we
suffering
already
enough.
know. The history of the
Instead,
Darkspawn.
The Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
There was another story I wanted to hear.
Which one?
Oh my gosh. What do you know of Andraste? Do you know anything about the
I
Dalish?
heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her
Man, is
exalted
everyone gonna
march
have this much stuff to
against the
talk to us
Imperium,
about? Or
the
did she
elves
just have this
joined her
much stuff
force
because
to
we
fight
haven't
their
talked to her
masters.
yet?
The great elven leader,
Like, I'm not
Shatan,
sure.
born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was
Shatan.
betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in the land of their
That's
own.
how they became Dalish. It didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally
I
broke out
see.
in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a
Gosh,
holy
religion's
exalted
starting
march
war.
against
What a
the
surprise.
elves, named for Andraste's similar
It seems
march
to be
against
just
the
history over and
During
over
the
and over
exalted
again.
march of the
I
Dales,
mean, it's not a bad
the
thing to
elven
draw in
cities
a
were
game
sacked,
because, like, it's
and the
realistic,
elven
but,
state
like, come on.
completely dissolved. Some
Couldn't
of
be
the
like a
elves
Hell in
bitterly
a Troy
accepted their
kind of
fates
thing
and
instead.
surrendered to human rule, living in the human
There's other
cities
things
as
to draw
second-class
to war.
citizens. But others,
Like,
still
over one
fatally
woman.
proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans.
I mean, I
and
guess
instead
back in those
became
days, you
homeless
take the
wanderers.
king's or prince's
They were
girl
the
or
elves
whatever,
of the Dales,
they
the
might launch an
Dalish.
all-out war on you. What do you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned
Maybe
his
that's
ear.
how the
Beauty,
UK-US
grace,
war
and
starts.
wisdom
Because
enraptured him, and he
Harry
offered to
defected
take
or
her from
whatever,
this
or
flawed
something.
world
I
to
don't
become
know
his
the whole
divine
situation.
bride.
The royalty's
Andraste
mad, so
had
then
an
they push their
earthly
government.
husband and would not forsake him.
Reclaim our son,
Instead,
or something.
She
I don't know.
beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her
That'd be,
plea that
man.
the Maker was moved,
But if that actually
and
starts a
promised
war,
that he
and
would
like I
create a
predict that
paradise on
it was
earth
because
if
of Prince
all
Harry
abandoned
and
their
Meghan
false
or
gods
whatever, like
and turned once more to him. And
I'll
this is
never
why
comment
Andraste
on
began
anything
her
ever again,
exalted
because that'd be
march on
completely
the idolaters
ridiculous.
of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies.
Oh, that's how she
Andraste
becomes the
brought
Inquisitor, though.
Imperium to its
Gets the
knees,
power of
and her
Andraste.
victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
Tell me about Shartan again. How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste.
Oh,
Her earthly husband, Mafarath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous
Oh,
as his
no.
wife's popularity and influence overshadowed
Wow.
his own.
dude, just
She
chill
was
back
also
and
revered
let
as
her
the
do the
Maker's
work, man.
betrothed,
It's all good.
and Mafarath
It's like the
began to see
best.
their own bond waning in significance.
You know, you can
as
go off,
Andraste
have your
became ever more
adventures, and
devoted to the Maker.
she'll
At
get her
the end of the
popularity and
fight,
money. And I mean, he still had a
Mafarath
job,
made
so
pact
whatever.
with the
I mean, he
Archon
could have not,
Histarian of
though.
Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured.
Wow.
Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
I think the next Dragon Age happens in Tevinter. Yeah.
The Tevinter Chantry claims that in Andraste's last moments, Histarian's heart softened, and he heard the voice of the Maker telling him to end her suffering. He plunged his sword into her heart, and as her blood washed over his hands,
Yeah, we see
he became one of
Andraste
the
in
faithful.
Inquisition, don't we?
Dissenters said that the Archon only converted because he
And
could
I
not
played
stand
like half
side
the
of
game
Andraste's cult,
during nights off
and
from
was forced
overnights,
to
so
do so to stay
some
in
of it's a
power.
little
We
blurry.
will never know for sure.
It's like, I don't know, it's tired, real tired. Let's just move on. Okay, man, we just got +5. That's one conversation tree done. Holy buckets. Well, let's see if she
Yes?
lets us give her nothing. Never mind. Oh my gosh. Alright. So we don't have to do that again. Holy buckets. That's a lot of talking. Alright. Look at your hat.
What do you
Okay,
need?
good. I love that they take their hoods off in conversation. Do you want to talk about
You don't
Duncan?
have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
I thought you might need to talk. That doesn't mean I don't mourn his loss. He was like a father to you, I understand. Good, I don't want you falling apart.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen.
I mean,
I know
kind
it's
of.
to die in battle.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
well
have
that's true.
lost it, not with so much as riding on us, not with the blight and
What's the dog barking at?
everything.
Can I go give him pets?
I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him.
I mean, we could have it right now. It's not like we're doing anything. I guess he
I
said
wish he
proper.
were alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
You could just have a makeshift funeral. He had you. What about the other Grey Wardens?
I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for them when they fall in battle.
So he's not a very
Have you
experienced
had
Grey Warden.
someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry. I'm just
I've lost enough to know what you're going through. Not since I went to the tower. Yeah.
That must have felt a lot like when I got sent to the Chantry. You mages don't even get a say in the matter after all.
No.
Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Anytime, Alistair. He was a friend of mine too.
That's good to hear. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who remembers him well.
Yeah, he was the best, and now he's dead. Oh my gosh. Why do I have to back up to like...
What do you
Oh,
need?
we'll talk to the dog next. I'd like to ask you
Ask away.
something. What can a Templar do exactly? Tell me about the Grey Wardens. So you said this... Oh my gosh.
Did I
We've
say
got
that?
so much
I
to
meant
talk
that
about.
Dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
It's not what I remember you telling Flemeth. That would explain the smell. I thought you were raised by the Chantry. Teh?
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind.
Oh, come on.
My mother was a serving girl.
Didn't even
in
give me a
Redford
chance to make a
Castle,
smart
who died when
comment.
I was very young. Arleman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow. He put a
Thanks.
roof over my head.
How do you know he wasn't your father?
And he didn't have to be.
You know?
I respect the man, and I don't blame him.
Maybe he
for
is.
sending me off
That's
to
my
chance
guess.
when I
That's
was
his
growing.
actual father. So, you know who is?
I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important.
Dark secret of
Arleman
Earl
eventually married a
Amon.
young woman from
Gave birth to
Orlais,
Alistair.
which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard.
No, it's just a lot of
They
world
weren't
building
true,
going
but of
on here,
course they
man. It's
existed.
good.
The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest.
How's
market
Arl
in
Eamon gonna
Mage
be
Town.
when we go meet
Just
him?
as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
You're probably luckier than most orphans. Awful thing to do to a child.
I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay out in the stable
Oh,
on
no.
silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my
Oh
mother's.
man,
I was so furious at being sent away.
I found
tore
it.
off
Is that
and
what I have?
threw it at the wall and it shattered.
Uh-oh.
Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn.
Eh,
I hated it there and blamed him for everything.
Jeez. Okay,
And
so I was wrong.
eventually,
Eh.
He just stopped coming.
And you think Liara will help us? Are you sure he isn't your father?
Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him. You'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumors any. All I know is that the Arl is a good man.
Is the Arl a dwarf or something?
He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did.
If he believes us,
That's
anyways.
really all there is to the story.
Okay. Alright.
What do you need?
Yeah, so we're getting plus stuff. Tell me about why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish but well made.
Duh.
A sucker for good tailoring.
Great. In that case, you should have become a mage. Thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly. I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it. Let's do this.
Oh, you aren't kidding.
Eh?
I think the Templar uniforms are as colourful as they are, just so the Templars didn't feel dull in comparison. The
Wow.
last thing you want when you're about to take down some Maleficar out in the woods is to have him point and laugh at your taste in clothing, am I right?
Okay. This is where you deflect questions with humor, right? Seems like it won't happen. And what's the real reason?
Oh, you know, between all the guilt and the hours spent in solemn prayer, any good Templar or priest is just bursting to tell a few good jokes when the opportunity
Man,
comes.
he's really not comfortable
You
with
don't
himself.
really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Then make something up more exciting. Yeah.
You know, I like the way you think. But I guess if you're really curious,
Wow.
no harm in
Damn it.
trying.
I wanted him to make
I
up a
have
story.
couple
Come
of
on, man.
interesting-looking moles I can show you later too, if you're interested. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery.
What?
The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble
Wow.
ones called me a
What
bastard
the
and
heck?
ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter.
Although what this game has over Mass Effect is it doesn't have Allison Williams, the worst character in any game, just like solely focused on banging Shepard, and that's the depth of her character. And also politics bad. Like politics bad, I want to bang Shepard. Like straight up, that's all she talked about is straight up direct. And what did you enjoy about the training?
The education mostly,
Eh.
but also the discipline.
Oh,
You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have.
what
It was
abilities do you have?
but rewarding.
Uh-huh.
I never really felt at home
That you just
anywhere, though,
swing a sword and a
until I
shield.
joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up.
So
What
he's not a
about you?
full Templar.
Do you have anywhere you
We
consider
don't really have
home?
a full Templar. Not anymore, no. I guess my home is with the Grey Wardens now. With you. Not necessarily with you, but,
It is. I didn't know you felt that way.
we didn't mean it
You
that
won't
directly
always
to
be
you.
sounding like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is, well, a time will come.
What do you mean we're not always like this? You don't know any other Grey Warden. Like, this guy's just making it up as he goes.
Far ways off.
I don't understand if he's a Templar or a Grey Warden or what he is. He's just kind of a soldier.
Either way,
They can be rebuilt. You can always keep traveling.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
What are we supposed to be doing right now? Gosh, hopefully I didn't upset him. Oh my gosh, I'm afraid it's gonna crash every time it does that little leg load.
What do you need?
Alright,
Ask away.
what else can we ask him? How did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten all
That's
that,
not
have
what
you?
I meant. If you don't want to answer, then say so. I mean before that.
I do my best. What can I say?
Oh my god,
Let's
dude.
see, I was in the
That's.
Chantry
I guess we
before.
were
I trained for
sarcastic
many
and he was
years before the
sarcastic
Templar,
too.
in fact.
And this
That's
game
why I
like
think it's
actually
possible.
knows. Like what happened between Mass Effect and this where like the dialogue just got so much better. Man, like if you watch some of that dating sim in Mass Effect, like I say one thing and like the person takes it like the completely opposite way I meant it. Like I knew I wanted that as a sarcastic answer and so did he. Like maybe they like spent some more time like on dialogue, like met with some like people who know conversation, like conversation specialists or something, like if that's a job or whatever, and like learned how to make their dialogue better or something. So what did he say? That's where I learned most of my skills. You don't seem like the religious sort, so you mentioned before. What skills might those be?
Well, it wasn't an easy life, you know. I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but I'm not exactly the Chantry type.
Yeah, we know that
Madame
already,
Cleric
man.
didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did? I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
So you think, why did the Grand Cleric want to
I
keep you?
wondered that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere.
Yeah, so
I've
if
always
people
been thankful
don't
for
like me
Duncan's
enough,
good
do they leave
company.
the party? Because like that'd be
If it hadn't
kind of
been
rough.
for him, you know, I would never. I wouldn't have.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought him up. He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much. I'm
Oh
sure
my
of.
gosh, and the bigger the
Come on,
party
let's go.
gets, the more people we have to
Done
talk
talking.
to. But hopefully it's kind of like Mass Effect, where this one's going to be a lot
What do you
longer,
need?
and the future ones are going to be
Ask
shorter.
away.
What can a Templar do
Essentially,
exactly?
they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages.
How do you
To
hunt
that
them
end,
exactly?
We train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So you can learn these talents. Yeah,
You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit.
so can others learn these talents? Have you hunted many mages?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity.
I can't
The
tell how
Chantry
old this
keeps a
guy's
close
supposed to
rein
be.
on its Templars. We are given lyrium
Like, how long
to
did he
develop
spend
our
as a
magical
Templar?
talents,
How
you
long
see.
was he in the Chantry?
Which
How long,
means we become addicted.
like, has he been a Grey
And
Warden
since
for?
the Chantry
Like, seems like Grey
controls
Warden
the
not very
lyrium
long.
trade with the
Seems like he was a
dwarves,
Templar for a bit, but
well,
not
that's how you
entirely.
put two and two together.
And do we get to meet Varric in this? Does he get to join our party? So you were you addicted to this lyrium? Can't believe they would do that.
Well, they do it, and they feel perfectly justified. You
Oh,
don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective, or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry
Yeah.
usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
well, you could tell us about the lies of the Templar and like the lies of the Jedi and stuff.
What do you need?
All right, we've got one more thing to
Ask
talk
away.
to him about. Can you teach others to be a Templar?
I suppose I could,
Why
but I really would rather not.
does it make me
When
leave the
Grand
dialogue?
Cleric
Like,
let
come on.
Duncan recruit
Let me ask all the things.
She made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
Oh, I see. You don't think this is important? What if I ordered you to do it? Maybe we should respect him.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Okay, so later on, can he train me in something? Okay, that's a
What
good
do you need?
response. He gave me +1.
Ask away.
Tell me about the Grey
Such as
Wardens.
they are.
Oh my goodness. Look at all these. So what happens now that there's just 2 of us?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
nearest
Did
Orlesian
you see all
city
those
is
questions?
weeks away.
We had so
If
much
we
to talk
go
to him
north
about here.
and cross the
Oh
sea,
god.
there's bound to be some in the free marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens.
At least we
in
get
other
to.
lands.
The voice acting's good too. Is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so at some point we're gonna
Orlais
go to
will have
Denerim.
control over that
Like, I only
and
know
most of
that
it now.
because when I was looking up all the
Beyond
crashing and
that,
stuff,
the
it
only
said
place
some
I know
person
of is
just
Weishaupt
like
Fortress.
lost their whole save
That's
in
the
Denerim.
headquarters of all Grey
Because
Wardens
like
in
the
the
game
outpost
crashed and
1,000
like corrupted the
miles.
file.
But I've no
So
idea
before
how
we
to
go
get
to
in contact
Denerim,
with
we're
them.
gonna make like
So
a few
unless we
extra
try to get
saves
back to the compound
and
in
try not to make a
Denerim,
bunch of saves within
I
Denerim.
suppose the answer is
So we have to have a
no.
pre-Denerim
There's
save or
nowhere
something.
for us to go.
What happens now that
I
there's two of
imagine
us?
that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually.
So we're gonna get a
Who
real
knows
Grey
what
Warden to
those
join our
people
party.
in
Like
Denerim
a veteran. It's like skills are all set up for us to use and
We
everything.
could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens,
Like, can't we send someone on a horse? Like, to, like,
I
go
mean,
tell them we need help
eventually
and
we'd
help
have to
us? Or
use
like an
joining
eagle
to
or
inform
something?
Grey
Like,
Wardens, right?
I don't know.
But I
They
don't
just
know
sent
how to do the
birds.
joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to
How'd
the
that
idea
work,
that
sending
there might
messages
only
with
be
like
2 of
crows
us
and
there.
stuff? Like, you just eventually
Until
train
more
them?
come from elsewhere.
Like, expand the distance they fly?
Just left? You mean just
Eh.
left Ferelden?
Uh,
I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're
Yeah.
supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the Blight would grow unchecked.
that's not good.
Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way.
Eh,
I'm not going anywhere.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like upset you.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
Alright, goodbye. Holy buckets. Alright, Alistair approves. +1. Here's our dog. Zuko! I love that you're in the game.
Oh, why you little...
What? Did you just jump at the sight of your own shadow again?
Oh, you're so funny. Such rapier wit.
Eh,
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me. Look.
huh? Hardly any blood, still you shouldn't have. Just a warning, he could have taken a hand off. Good boy. Teach that Alistair a lesson. Eh.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Alistair approved. Eh.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of
Can I just pet my dog, please?
feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh.
Oh, he does not like the sound of that.
Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Oh, be nice to him. Don't listen to Alistair, he's full of rubbish. If you had it and didn't know, it probably was tasty. Oh, I'd never feed you another human being.
Hey!
Eh. What the heck? Does anyone else interact with my dog?
Oh, look at what your food
Oh my
dog
gosh.
placed in my pack.
What is this?
A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts, he means well. Can't be stinkier than what normally goes into them. Oh my gosh, I think he thinks you need more meat on your bones. Why is it, doesn't he share his food with me?
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Not a nursemaid. You heard the lady. He can't just throw it away like that.
I just did.
Uh-oh.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Hey! I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Wow. What the heck was that? Why is Alistair approving? That was Morgan. What? Hell, he looks like Geralt here, actually. uh,
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
what? Why does Alistair approve? It's always Alistair approving. He loves this dog. Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? It's going to take some time, you know. Hopefully he finds something. Well, good luck with that then. What the heck? I just want to pet him. Can I like play fetch or anything? Alistair approves. Oh gosh. No, he's just peeing. Pet, here we go. Oh, there we go. We're petting Zuko. Oh, you're both rolled over. Zuko's too far away for me to pet right now. Okay, I think that's probably about all we can do with him. I guess I can see. Can we just play with him forever? Okay, yeah, now it's just pet Zuko and leave him alone. Okay, yeah, that's the only options we have. Makes Alistair happy, though. Why doesn't it make anyone else happy? Okay, so we've done everything we can with our dog. Alright, Liliana, Alistair. There's a quest over here. Who is Sandal? Where's the rest of our party? We're missing... No, we talked to Liliana. 1, 2, 3. Morrigan. Where is Morrigan? Who's Levi?
Why are we stopping?
I think we should talk for a moment. We're working together. I think I should get to know you.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Are you alright? You're in cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
Tell me about your
No.
people. Why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Wow. You said you were in the army?
I am.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever fought in a war? What made you decide to become a soldier? Why would Kunari send soldier here?
The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Kunari. We are how my people know the world.
Does that make your view of things a little
Compared
skewed?
to what?
You only learn about people you
What
conquer.
does anyone truly know of the world? The world changes. We change. The Antam
Man, his
observe
dialogue
what they
options
can,
are
just
tough.
as you
Like,
do.
if we choose the wrong
There
thing,
is
he
no
might
point
stop
to this.
talking
We
to
are
us.
keeping the darkspawn waiting.
What's your hurry?
What a strange language you speak. You say hurry where I would say duty.
It's not your duty to...
No, it is yours, and you are chatting with me instead. As you wish.
Oh my gosh. Do we lose points there? Okay, I'm afraid to talk to him again. Let's just not talk to him again. Where's Morrigan? Okay, she's all the way over here. What are you doing over here, lady? Oh my. You have a lot of blood over here. What's this about? And scrolls. What are you doing? What's with your
do you wish
hat?
of me?
I'd like to discuss something personal.
If you must.
How do we know she's a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of
Well,
Demet,
okay,
taught
spoilers.
over many years in the wilds.
Fuck.
The
What is
chasing
my
of the
phone playing?
thrills of we witches, saying
like
that we assume the
endless
forms of
ESPN
creatures
videos.
to
What the
watch
heck?
them
When did
while
I even
hiding.
click on one?
When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Wow. That does sound like something you do, but it's just a legend, right? Eh?
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change it into other human forms? Can anyone become a shapeshifter?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell, and thus
Maybe she, oh yeah, she like transforms into a dragon in Inquisition.
Indeed, you
I'm
could
pretty
learn
sure
the
she
spells
became the dragon
required
in
if
my
I
playthrough.
cared to teach you. The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think
So I mean, if
as
you
it
study
does.
someone else,
But
couldn't you turn them
time,
in
this
to them?
allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the
Are you
answer
really
is
the same
no,
though?
my
You
human
become a
form is
dwarf
the only one I possess.
or an elf?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true.
What does
You
that
look
mean?
upon the world around you and you think you know it well.
Oh no, she
I
became an
have
animal
smelled it
and
as
she
a
met a bat
wolf,
and she
listened
started a
as
virus.
cat, proud shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
What other animals do you think of when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species.
Can you get
As to
eaten?
what they
Like
think,
if you're like a
I
rabbit,
truly cannot
will a
say.
hawk come
Just as
down
I
and
am
eat you
still
up?
human, no matter my form,
Or if you're an
they are
owl,
still
or like the
animals,
crow's gonna chase
else
you
they
around or
cannot
something?
speak, even were I to ask.
There's been an owl around our neighborhood lately, and the crows just like follow it around and like sit in the trees and squawk at it. The
No,
owl's just like trying to sleep.
'tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from
So are
one
these two really
generation to the next.
apostates? Like,
The zealots of the
because
chancellor
they
would
didn't
uproot
leave,
all
or
such
as anyone who
traditions if they
just
could.
uses
But as luck have it,
magic outside the
some still
circle.
exist. My mother is such a one.
Don't you? That's good. Such traditions need to be preserved.
I'm shocked that you think so. Being a mage at the
I left the
circle,
circle,
you are.
man.
But perhaps you felt a little like a caged
Yeah.
bird as well, caught within that
Dude,
dark
that's
cave.
exactly how I felt. Yes, very much so.
I thought so.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
No. I think your abilities sound quite useful. They just make you angry, I think.
A most practical opinion. Far more so than any man I have spoken to.
Oh gosh.
But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Jeez. That's a way to end the conversation. Wow. I guess we better keep moving. Don't collect dust.
What do you wish of me?
Man, you should start using that line.
If you must.
So, did we ask that? Can you teach others to become shapeshifters? Man, there's so much. Is Flameth really what she seems
Well,
to
that
be?
depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
Powerful Maleficar.
You mean, is she truly the Flemeth of legend and story?
Yeah.
Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I've heard a little of it. Spare me the bedtime stories. I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
Alright, well tell me. That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire
Nice.
of any who saw her.
Yes, I've heard this part.
The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard and fled the castle of her husband, the Dreadlord Conobar, and that
Dreadlord.
he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conobar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conobar approached
So
young Osen
she was
and
alive a
offered
long
him
time
wealth
ago.
and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Oh, he sold his wife to another man. Flemeth must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Oh,
All would have been well had Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain.
I see. I
But
see.
he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen
Oh,
was
boy.
led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
Yeah, seems like it needed to happen. Wasn't she now married to? So she truly loved Osen
That
then.
was not the point.
Eh?
Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid.
Okay.
There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All
Interesting.
lies.
Of course, Flemeth would say that. She never invaded, or he never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion.
Duh.
As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth
Interesting.
was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Oh my gosh, dude, there's so much to talk about. The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters. Eh?
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all.
She's
not
given us
just
so
the
much
one.
information. Like, she
And
has so
these
much to talk
tales
about.
existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts.
What?
It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Well, maybe her daughters tried to take her over. How is it that she's survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever. And
Are
she
you
is
an
part of the
abomination too?
wilds as it is part of her.
Does Morgan
But
live
she is
forever
no
too?
immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Uh,
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery.
but I mean, she can transform, so she can be whatever she wants. An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I.
Do you ever go back to
you are
Flemeth?
welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
There's nothing really to say about her.
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters not. Let us move on.
Okay. Was that a bad ending to pick? +5. That's pretty good.
What do you wish of me? If you
Oh my
must.
gosh, she has so much we can ask her about.
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
I'm curious. You could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck.
Eh?
What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wild?
She liked that
Curious
answer. Okay.
question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man.
How old are you
In
exactly?
time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
Oh yeah, she told us some of this, didn't she? But you kept going back to the wild, and you remained unnoticed?
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had
So
been
she
taught,
kind of
however,
briefly
the
talked
truth of
about
the
this, but
civilized
didn't really
world
go
proved
into
to
it this
be
much.
overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
That sounds very daring. It sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I
Nice.
answered the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
There you go. That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard.
Good job.
Child's play. The point being that I
Well, that's
was
kinda
able to move
direct.
through human
Like,
lands very easily. Whatever
Man, that'd be
humans
weird.
think
I
a
guess there are
witch of
probably
the
some guys
wild
that
looks like
think like that.
was
Every
not
woman
I.
finds him
Not
attractive
that
or
I did
whatever.
not have trouble.
Man,
There are things about human
there's a lot more
society
depth
which
to
have
it than
always
that,
puzzled me,
for sure.
such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Oh my gosh. Touching like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes.
Oh, so she had like no social skills.
How to bargain without offending.
She was straight up a
None
witch
these
of the
things
wild.
I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
And then she sent, well, yet here you are. I'm glad it worked out this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well,
Wow.
let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Oh my god. Oh man, all these conversations
What do you
are
wish
worth
of
it
me?
just for how she ends it. It's so good.
If you must. By others, do you
Yes.
mean yourself?
Yes, I am considering it. Do you see any other mages?
Then I shall teach you what I can whenever we are in camp, provided you have the will to even make the attempt, that is.
Oh, so I need high enough willpower. Specialization, shapeshifter. Great.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you
If you
something.
must.
So yeah, we already got that. Maybe that dialogue option just never goes away.
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were.
Yeah, they probably got
Flemeth
wrecked.
made a bit of a game of it, in
Wrecked.
fact. The Templars would come again, and she
Man,
would look at me and
hopefully we can get
smile
through
and
all this
say,
dialogue.
"The
It's
fun
been
is
like
to
an hour.
begin
I'll probably
once more."
actually cut this video up, at least for YouTube, and just name this part Space, or I don't even know what we called space dating sim. Eh, fun? You found it fun? I feel sorry for the Templars.
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was happening. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began.
Dragon
Often
dating
Flemeth would
sim.
use me as
I don't know.
a little girl to scream and run.
So we're not
while
actually
the Templars
dating
beat them into
dragons like in a
trials
dragon
into
dating
their
sim
doom.
game. At least space dating sim, we were in space. So I don't know what to call this yet. Did you actually kill them all? Plymouth used you as bait? Surely more would have followed. Eh?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the Wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we
I mean,
would
it doesn't
be
seem like the
lost
wilds
within
are
the
that big
forest
though,
once
you know?
again. I did not understand.
Seems like,
the
I mean,
danger we
obviously the
faced until I
explorable
was
areas
much
aren't going to be as
older.
big as they were in
I had never
Inquisition.
heard of a
Granted, we didn't
postage
get to
or
explore the whole thing
maleficarum.
because it like just forced us back. Do you regret hurting any of those men? They probably thought you were dangerous. Do you still think that was fun? They got what they deserved.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary. The Chantry
Interesting.
sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as
I think any
apostates,
answer is going to give us
and
the same
apostates
response
could
here.
become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become
Blood
demon-enslaved
magic.
abominations. It may
I want to
even be
learn blood
true.
magic though.
Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Meaning what? Will someone leave our party? Like, would people leave our party if we learn blood magic? Is that a bad thing? Meaning what? We'll fight till the end? The circle is not quite what you picture. See no reason. Yeah.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
What's the task at hand? Destroying the blight? Oh, +4.
What do you wish of me?
Like to
We are
discuss
in
something
camp,
personal.
So 'tis as good a time as any.
Why are you still here?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave?
No,
I can do so if you prefer.
no, I don't want you to leave.
If I wanted to leave, then I would go. I remain, so do not ask such pointless questions.
Oh. Oh God. All that, and we wrecked it all. -10. Oh jeez. Oh fuck. Well, fuck that up real bad.
What do you wish of me?
Duh.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. I am here because Flemeth
Let's see if we can
commanded me
choose a
to
different
aid you.
option. Oh God,
Why?
that's bad.
Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
No,
Then I assume our discussion ends here.
we're gonna get minus again. Oh God, dude, what the fuck? Holy shit. Wow. How we just lost everything we built up with her. Neutral. She, oh God, dude, that's bad. Wow. Wow. Okay. Jesus. That's real bad. Fuck.
Ah, it's good to see you, my
Hey, we met
kind
these guys.
rescuer. Bodon Fenwick, and
Are these gonna be the
ourselves
merchants?
once again. I saw your camp and
We're at our
remembered the
camp
kind offer
forever?
you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence.
How's that sound? That sounds perfect. Your son's
Yes?
like as big as you. He's weird. He's like a kid dwarf. You're free to stay. Have you been following us?
Following you? I'm not even certain where you're going, my friend. And quite frankly, it's none of my business. Trust
Okay.
me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity.
Man,
and
dude,
nothing
-20
I travel
just
a
from
lot, so I'm bound
those
to meet
discussions
everyone
there.
on
It's
the
all
road
going super
eventually.
well, and then we
If you
just
prefer,
wrecked
I'll
it,
take
man.
my boy and be on my
Wrecked
way.
it.
Regret. You're the
Oh my
safest
gosh.
spot on this road, without a doubt.
You're free to stay. What are you selling
Anything,
exactly?
everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand with enchantments.
I feel
Oh,
like that
yes.
first option that was kind of mean.
Sadly,
Like, I'm totally
he
happy
makes
this
us
guy's
a
here
target
because
for
we need a
bandits and
merchant
the
at
If
camp.
there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so
Like
long
the
ago.
rock armor effect is just always there.
Wonderful.
Eh.
Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
Won't be a
Jeez.
bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Oh, he can give us enchantments. Great, great. Oh, man, we just messed it up with Morgan, though. That's pretty disappointing, man. It was all going good, and then we...
You're a hard woman to find.
Who are you?
Know my manners. The name is Levy. Levy Dryden.
Levy or
Did
Levi?
Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
You know Duncan.
Oh, yes, for years. Considered him a friend, I did. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for
Oh,
me,
what are we gonna look
but
into?
poor Duncan's. Well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work
Yeah, we'll
carried
carry it on. Oh,
He's
God,
pledged
dude, I
for
still
food.
feel bad. We spent all this time talking, and then we messed it up with Morgan big time. I mean, there's a lot of game left, but minus 20 pointeronies or whatever. Man, that's bad. How did you know Duncan? What promise did
My
Duncan make to
family,
you?
well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last warden commander of Ferelden back when the wardens were known as freeloaders. So
Uh-oh.
King Orland banished the wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
Oh, what happened next?
Hard to say. After King Orland died, there was a civil war. Loads
So we're
worse
getting
than this
info
one.
for this quest. We're
And
gonna
our
get his
family was
deed
on
and
the
title
run,
back or
hunted
something,
by
so he can
enemies,
have his
but
land.
nary a friend in the world. But
Do we not
times
get
are
a
tough.
castle? Like, do we
We
just get
built,
camp this
became
whole time?
merchants, and we never lost our pride.
That'd be kind of rough. Hopefully we get a bigger camp. Surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the blight. We're not ashamed of that.
What favor did
Ask
you
for the
ask of
truth.
Duncan?
My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence.
What
to
if the
prove her
evidence
name.
points the
It
other
won't
way?
restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore
Oh,
our honor.
okay. He just wants his honor. Never even heard of Soldier's Peak.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Orland's days. At
Is
least
that
none that's come
top of a
back.
mountain?
I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak.
Oh,
Found
do we have to
a
go
way
through a
few years
maze?
back.
Like, I haven't gone
So I
through a
went to
maze in a
Duncan, I
game,
did.
like,
And
ever.
I said that he
So
could
that should be
reclaim
pretty
the
good.
old base, and my family could have its honor.
What do you need from me? How will that help the
Soldier's
wardens?
Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan
Oh,
said that
okay.
it would be worth it
So
right
we can
there.
upgrade our
We
camp to
also
Soldier's
hope to
Peak,
recover
maybe?
lost warden
That'd be
history
pretty
and perhaps
sweet.
a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
Let's go to Soldier's Peak. Your faith will be rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map.
Thanks.
When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Well, wow. This has been okay, what, this guy has something for us too? Alright, well, he's gonna teach us how to enchant. I do need to stop here though. Man, this has been great, man. It's so good. Except for losing 20 points with Morgan. That's bad. Real bad. Now we're neutral. Like, everything we built up, we just straight up slashed because we asked her a personal question. Gosh, dang it. Not good. Maybe she needs to be like happier with us to be able to do that. Man. Alright. So this has been, I don't know, medieval dating sim or whatever. We're not going to call it fantasy dating sim because that'd be kind of wild, but we'll call it medieval dating sim for what happened in this episode. So yeah. This is just a block of cheese. Looks like Pac-Man. Man, block of cheese. How the game looks so good, and then look at this block of cheese. Like, what the heck? And block of cheeses have come a long way between here and Skyrim. Like, this just looks like Pac-Man. Like a blocky Pac-Man. It's not even a wheel. It's not even round. It's like edged off and stuff. Man, like the wheel of cheese in Skyrim, like looks like you want to eat it. This just looks like a piece of weird candy or something. Man, so we did a lot. Thanks for watching. Holy buckets. It was good. That means next time we'll be able to get along. I think between like each main story mission is probably when we'll come back here. I don't know. I might look into that because like that's what it said to do in Mass Effect was like between each main mission or whatever, go to camp and talk to your people. Like I don't think every time we come back to camp to heal we'll talk to everyone because then the game will straight up take forever. And I mean, I don't know, I don't really care about romancing any of the characters. I just hope no one leaves our party or whatever. So we need to boost Morrigan a little because she was not very happy at the end there. I mean, she's neutral, but plus 24 would have been a lot better than plus 4. But yeah, a real good game, real fun. I'd say better than Mass Effect for sure. We're not dying as much in combat early on as in Mass Effect. We have still died a little bit, but that's okay. We're figuring out the game. We're also trying to figure out how to auto-target and stuff. So yeah, it's been really good, really good. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.